Let me ask you about one of the fears you brought up, dynasty. Right? You're part of the Aquino family. This family is in power. The fear is that that this power will be used for personal gain. Like, for example, something that has nothing to do with politics. Chris Aquino's love life brings her sisters on primetime television with her. When the Aquino family comes out collectively like that, no one can but think about the fact that they're connected to the president. What kind of insurance will the people get that you will not use this in a dynastic way, use the power in a way that is for personal gain?
Well, we've never have, no? I mean, we never have. So, you know, I look at my family members who have been in politics. There are people who gave their lives to the country. No? You look at Tito Ninoy, Tita Cory. Si Tito Ninoy, buhay niya mismo yung binigay niya. Tita Cory naman, of course, in the 90s, a lot of people disagreed with her, but nobody questioned her integrity.
I think on the big picture, the Ninoy, Cory Aquino, it's something trivial, actually, if you look at it. Chris Aquino with her sisters, with Ballsy.
I don't think anything was wrong with that. No? See, Ate Chris needed a lot of support at that moment, and of course, her sisters were there. Why shouldn't they be there? No, they're there to support their sister.
Yes.
No, so I don't really find anything wrong there. But where do you draw the line
between taking the power of the family to help a family member when the power of the family includes the top office in the land?
Well, I think in the case of Ate Chris naman, that was a personal matter.
Yes.
And she didn't really bring in the president in any of her statements, now, to be honest.
Yes.
In fact, I thought that...
it was just like a Damocles sword, though. I mean, again, I'm just... Yeah. These are the comments that have come out on
it's
social
the comments,
media.
But the truth is probably less controversial. No?
Yes.
One of our family members needed help, and her sisters were there to support her. And the way I see it, it's really as simple as that. No, it probably has nothing to do with politics. No, to be frank, no, I don't really see how it's connected to politics. Of course, it came out during the campaign period, but again, I don't think it will really affect the advocacies that we're pushing for, the issues that we have espoused. So I hope that things are resolved with Ate Chris, and of course, you know, I support her as her cousin, but. I really think that's more of a personal matter rather than something in politics. I don't know if you're seeing something that I can't see right now, no?
It's actually, it starts with personal, diba? So definitely, it's a personal matter, but yet, when you bring together the Aquino power in a personal issue in support of a family member, inevitably, where will the lines be drawn by the Aquino family?
Well, I think it's pretty clear naman. No? I don't think we've been, even in that sense, no, I don't think we overstepped naman, or family members overstep their bounds, no? I mean, Ate Chris is a public figure even before the president ran, obviously.
Definitely.
And she's her own person, no?
Very definitely.
Very definitely. So, I really can't see what you're saying, no? But in terms of the past and the present, I think you can even say that Tita Cory was extremely careful about wielding power that could be misconstrued as personal, no?
Yes.
And that's still my inspiration, no? That type of leadership and governance, that's still my inspiration. So, ako honestly, if you talk about a dynasty as having one place or a business interest that they're protecting, I can't really see that we fell into that trap, no? Or we are those types of people. What I see is we have a history of public service. And many of us younger ones are inspired by our relatives who gave so much to the country. I mean, to be very frank, no? Yes. So, I hope that people won't take it against us if, because of that inspiration, we also want to serve and have served the public in different ways. No?
In the campaign now, the fact that you're Aquino, is it a plus or a minus?
Both. Right now, though, I think it's more of a plus. Pero may minus pa rin yan, no? Yung plus, I think, obviously, the president's quite popular and he did clearly define what the role of Team PNoy is. No? Sabi niya, yung grupong ito yung magpapatuloy ng mga reformang nasimulan na natin. So, very, very clearly defined, no? What we stand for.
Yes.
But in terms of when my name was first floated, automatically there were people who were not friends of the president and who were not his supporters who were against me automatically. Yes. And in fact, some of the things that they had mentioned, you just needed to Google my name and probably masasagot na yung ibang mga tanong doon, no? But that automatic reaction was there, no? So I'm hoping na ngayon na campaign period na, people will look past our last name and really look at ano ba yung nagawa na ng taong ito, ano ba yung gusto niyang ipaglaban pa para sa bayan natin? Ano ba yung mga pinaglalaban niya, at ipaglalaban pa niya? And again, in the age of information technology, everything's out there.
It is.
Walang sikreto, walang secrets, di ba? So, I'm hoping people will take a look at our Benigno Bam Aquino fan page, if I can plug it
please.
now. And just look at the things we've done there, the work we've done in PNoy, the National Youth Commission, and ask around also, no, about people that we've supported and that we've partnered with us.
Yes.
And hopefully, that could, if they have any fears about not having a track record to bank on, hopefully that will allay people's fears. No?
A lot of questions about national security issues. I'm going to throw several of them. From at Master Ann 11, what's your stand about the Philippine-South China Sea dispute?
Well, unang-una, yung atin-atin yan, no? We shouldn't allow ourselves to be bullied by China, even though they are practically the only superpower left right now. We shouldn't be bullied by them. We should stick to our claim and hopefully really push the diplomatic solution, because obviously an armed solution will not lead anywhere, no?
Yes.
I really think wars in general, or armed struggle, is not really of this day and age anymore. So hopefully we can push for that in the right fora or the right forum, but we shouldn't let go of the land that's ours. No?
This is from Yusuf Ledesma, two people, Yusuf Ledesma and Imran Pangalinan, is about how will you handle the Sabah claim in the Senate?
Yeah.
What about a platform for Muslim Filipinos?
Yeah. Well, unang-una, the thing we should focus on sa Sabah, no? Unang-una, yung lives ng mga yung kapakanan ng 800,000 nating kababayan
That are
doon.
in Sabah.
That's the first, because they are the ones who are getting abused. They are the ones who are getting wrongfully accused of different things. No? So that's the first order of business. Second are our economies in Sulu, Tawi-Tawi, and Basilan, and Zamboanga, because a large part of their economies were dependent on Sabah. So a lot of our countrymen who used to get their livelihood from Sabah are having trouble right now. No? Pangatlo, yung mga bumabalik sa Pilipinas, we get reports of hundreds of Filipinos coming back to the mainland.
Yes,
and
almost 5,000 now.
5,000 already.
Yeah,
I think it's hundreds per day, no?
Yes, yes.
And they're leaving their homes, they're leaving their businesses. They need a lot of help and a lot of support.
Yes.
And this is the type of support na pang DSWD, no? Even before talking about getting them back on their feet and getting them jobs, no? We have to give them the primary support first.
Okay.
Pang-apat, palagay ko, pagdating sa Sabah, yung claim natin, no? Admittedly, that claim was dormant for a long time, and we should get some finality on this issue and put out the proper claim in the same way we want China to get solved through a third-party tribunal. Hopefully, we can do the same for Sabah.
Fantastic. This one from at Roski Cruz. What is Bam Aquino's stand on the situation of UP and the death of Miss Tejada? What can you do?
It was really, masaklap talaga siya. No? Why? Unang-una, mataas yung grades niya. Pangalawa, malinaw naman na nangangailangan siya. She was in the D economic bracket, no? And she asked for a loan.
Yes.
She didn't ask for a grant or a scholarship. She asked for a loan. And if I'm not mistaken, the loans in the past, nababayaran naman niya. So, hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit siya hindi nabigyan ng tamang suporta, tamang tulong. Masakit talaga, no? A lot of people from UP, I'm not an alumni of UP, no,
Yes.
but a lot of the UP alumni have really spoken out already, and I support their a lot of their wishes, no, to change the policies of UP Manila, and hopefully other schools will follow suit. Now, pagdating dun sa socialized scheme, in general, I'm not against it, because by having higher paying students, they're able to subsidize the students who can't afford.
Yes.
But today, I was able to look at the breakdown of students from A to E, no? And yung karamihan pala A and B, no? Yung C, D, and E mas kokonti. And you can verify that
Yes,
with UP,
yes.
no? There's something wrong there.
Yes.
Na yung karamihan ng mga estudyante sa UP, I think, I'm not sure if this is UP system or UP Manila.
Yes.
A and B yung mas marami. Yung C, D, and E yung mas kakonti. There's something wrong there. Considering that it is the University of the Philippines, and if you look at our socioeconomic structure, A and B is less than 10% of the country, or actually less than 1%. A, B, and C is less than 10%. Siguro naman we could see some sort of mirroring of our demographics and the enrollment in UP. No? So I'm hoping that this can be a period of reforms. I think the UP heads naman have already said that it is a period of reforms, and they will look again into their system. But sana on a very personal level, wag na mangyari yung merong isang kabataan na mataas naman yung grado, humihingi naman ng loan, hindi naman siya humihingi ng pera, clearly nangangailangan siya at hindi pa rin nabigyan ng tulong. No?
Fantastic. Again, switching, I'm sorry, I'm taking you through a gamut, but at Pia Angeli, what's your stand on the RH bill?
Well, it's already a law. No, it has to be, it should be implemented
The RH
properly.
law.
Nakalagay kasi sa batas na it should be implemented without bias, and I agree with that. If we have our Catholic, the priests, the bishops, and some of the organizations, ang fear kasi nila is pipilitin ng mga tao na gumamit ng mga bagay-bagay na ayaw nilang gamitin. That's not part of the law.
Yes.
No, the law is against abortion. The law does say that it should be implemented without bias, and that's how it should be. So, I've talked to a number of Catholic leaders also, and I've told them, no, kung if this is implemented the wrong way, which is pinipilit yung mga tao sa ayaw nila, I will be the first to stand with you and say that it should be implemented the right way. But at this point, I'm hoping that it is implemented properly. No?
Okay, excellent. From at Noble Pine, and let me pull it out broader now, could he outline his steps for a new kind of politics and one which may redistribute wealth from rich families to a greater majority?
Yeah, actually, let me answer the second question first. No?
Okay.
When you try to get more jobs in a community, or when you try to support small businesses or micro businesses, that's redistributive. No?
Correct.
If you're talking about investments, you're increasing the pie.
Yeah.
Pinapalaki mo yung pera na pwedeng paghati-hatian.
APEC is actually saying if you can get SMEs to take 90% of your economy, then you've actually distributed money throughout. Yeah.
So it is distributive, no?
Yes.
Kasi many people have told me in the past, especially before politics, no? They would say, Bam, ba't ka nakafocus sa mga micro? Ang late niyan. Hindi naman yan nagdadala ng bagong pera sa komunidad.
It could be a major engine for growth.
Diba?
Yeah,
It
I
is,
agree
and
with
I
that.
tell them, maybe it won't bring in more money, but it will redistribute wealth, which is more important, I think, for our country. You know, our inequality is still quite high. In fact, it's one of the highest in the region, even though our economy is doing really well. No, so medyo may problema tayo dyan, no? So
Because if you're waiting for a trickle-down effect, it will take time and it will take policies to do it.
Yeah.
So
you need
what
policies,
are your plans?
you need
Yes.
programs. So one, support our micro and small enterprises.
Okay.
That is redistributive. No?
Yes.
That will bring in more money to hands of people who really need it more.
Okay.
And we're talking about financing, training, access to market. No? By bringing in more jobs, you're able to make sure that the community is able to benefit from these investments coming in. Again,
Yes.
that's distributive.
Yes.
No? So the focus that we have in terms of helping our poor countrymen is really focused on that. Mas distributive siya. Of course, we'll support the good governance measures which are bringing in more investments. Oo naman. Pero palagay ko ngayon, yung kailangan tutukan talaga is to help bring in programs and projects that will redistribute wealth in our country. Now, the question on new politics, I don't have a specific answer for that right now, but I'm hoping that by through leading by example, you will attract the other leaders, and I've seen this now on the ground, no, yung mga young mayors, young congressmen, young board members, young councilors. Kahit paano, pag kasama natin sila, bubulungan ako. Alam mo, tayong mga bata, we should stick together kasi bago na yung pananaw natin. I know it sounds very motherhood, no, but I'm hoping that as the years go on, if we get there to the Senate, we can help bring together all of these like-minded young officials who have a different way of thinking, who are willing to push boundaries, who are not completely beholden to patronage, and who can actually push for innovative ways. Hopefully, we can play a role there, no, to bring people together and usher in new type of politics, which of course comes from new type of leadership.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
So hopefully we can play a part there. No, I'm not exactly sure how to do it yet. No, like a movement or a
Not
group.
until you get in, right?
Exactly.
I mean, you can't really know. But how we've seen this before. There was a group called the Young Turks, Mike Defensor, Cheese Escudero, the young blood that was going to come in to revitalize the system. How do you not get eaten by the system before you can try to change
I
it?
think one advantage that we have now is that the president is there. Simply because when they were there, ang hirap ng sitwasyon nila. They had GMA who was basically destroying all of the institution, bastardizing a lot of the relationships in government and to the private sector. And ngayon, we have a president who is clean, who is in his own way pushing for reforms, who's also reform-minded. I think it's the best time now to push this new type of leadership, no? To push new politics, to push all these reforms. It's the best time now because he's there. No?